Sales Everyday fam, how you guys doing today? I see some of y'all closing deals. This has been a hot week for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are starting last month of Q3 on a high note, and I'm really excited to see that. So let's keep the momentum. September is often one of the best months because a lot of people are going back to school. When the kids go back into school, then people go back to focusing on their business. So you're going to catch a lot of momentum. Be sure to really capitalize on this month and ride the wave, man, because you guys are going to be able to pull in a lot of deals in September. September is easily one of the better months, right? Kids back in school, and then you guys get to ride that gravy train of people getting back focused and trying to crush it till the end of the year. That's besides the point. That's not what this video is about. This video is about leaving no stone unturned, and exactly what does that mean? Well, one of the things for a lot of you guys that's going to kill your deals is what's called happy ears. And so happy ears is the process of listening for what you want to hear. And I have a story about an interview that I did today, and I found something that I didn't want to hear, but it really could have cost us dearly later. And I'll get into that in a bit. But first, with happy ears, a lot of salespeople, they don't want to hear the bad stuff. And so their desire is to constantly ask questions and only hear good things that reaffirm what they're looking for anyway. And when you do that, it's your desire to get the deal that actually kills the deal. Because when I like to sometimes look at a sales call as like you're running through a haunted house, and any door that you leave cracked, a monster could come out and chase after you and get you, right? And so the job is to close all the doors and make sure that they're shut. So then that way the monsters don't come and get you. Monsters being reasons that blow up the deal or things that kind of make the deal go off course. So your job when you're on the call is to find anything at all that possibly could kill the deal or get the person to not make a decision today. Bring that up as early as possible, right? You know, after you've gone through the discovery, you've gotten the information, you really want to address a lot of that stuff. And then usually you'll be aware of it early on the call, and then you'll start to like kind of set the dominoes up and then knock them down when you start to get into the offer presentation portion of the call. And so when you're listening for things to be good, like you want to kind of hear that like rainbows and unicorns and everything's awesome and it's just exactly what you're wanting to hear, you avoiding the things that you don't want to hear is going to be the thing that blows up the deal at the end. And like an early mentor once told me that the money and the results that you get come from not who you make offers to, but more who you don't make offers to. And so it's really important to be clear on your criteria for who you do and don't make offers to, and then find every reason why that person's not really a good fit and why they shouldn't receive an offer. If you do that, it's going to set you up to where when you are making offers, you're making offers with 100% certainty and you're really ready to rock that. And to give you guys the story and what prompted this was, so today our team's growing. We're looking to hire a salesperson internally for our team, more as like a kind of junior salesperson role, like an appointment setter and outreach. So plug, if you know anyone, please connect them with us because we're looking to grow the team. And obviously, you know what we do kicks ass. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in here. But I was talking to a kid, and I mean, it was like, this kid was a home run. I thought like, man, this is a great fit for our team. And he dropped the seed of like something like, yeah, you know, start my own business in a few years. So I went through the conversation with him, and towards the tail end, I said, you know, just out of curiosity, you said you wanted to start your business in 3 to 5 years. Like, why not start a business now? And he went through the story about how he had a business, and then as soon as he kind of got on his feet, like he got really depressed, and then the business kind of crumbled. So then he found himself going and getting a job again, and he really like loved sales, wanted to get better at sales. So he's like, okay, I'll go get a sales job for this company. Then he proceeds to tell me that he basically felt like he had really done well at that sales job. He had learned a lot at that sales job. And he then went to one of the people that was his client at that sales job, pitched the president of the company that he would do the same offer, basically the same exact service for less money and cut out the middleman, was how he phrased it. And he didn't even like, for him, he didn't process it that it was a bad thing. And so right at that point, I told him, like, I just want to be real with you. That's 100% a deal breaker. There's no way you can possibly change my mind after that. And like, I really thought you were a great fit. And then after hearing that, like, that's just something that we don't tolerate. And he's like, what do you mean exactly that you don't tolerate? And I asked him, I said, if you did it to them, why wouldn't you do it to us? And the worst part is that you went to go get the client, and then you couldn't even deliver because he like emotionally and mentally crumbled again. So you went and got this client and basically stole a client from the person who had fed you and gave you what you needed, and you thought you were cutting out the middleman, and then you totally crumble and don't deliver results. And then the fact that you don't even perceive that as being wrong tells me that there's something off here. Like, that's just not the right thing to do. And the fact that you're not aware of it means that there's no way that I would consider you for this role. And he was like, wow, nobody's ever been that direct with me. Thank you for being so direct. And I told him, I enjoyed our conversation. I like you. I think you're a nice guy. I think you need to consider what you did there, because that wasn't the right decision. That's not the right thing to do. And I think if you look at it and you unpack it, you'll see that wasn't the right thing to do. And at the end of the call, he was really grateful. Like, he didn't feel that I was judging him, because I wasn't really judging him. I was just telling him, like, you didn't do good. And that pattern of behavior, I know if I've seen it in the past, it's going to happen again, especially if he has the same desires. So I totally killed the deal. It was something I told him, we don't tolerate that behavior. And because last thing I want to do is put him on our stuff or put him on a client, and then he goes and does the same thing. That's not the right thing to do. And I think all you guys are here because you know that that wouldn't be the right thing to do, especially if you sell the exact same thing. It's different if you sell a complimentary offer or a different offer or something like that to the same client base sometimes, but I still don't think that's the right thing to do, because these people are trusting you with their leads, they're trusting you with their business, they're trusting you to represent them to their clients. And if you do go take those clients, that's not the right thing to do. And so the reason I wanted to say that is because, like, had I had happy ears, I would have never found the thing that was the deal breaker. And had I never found the thing that was a deal breaker, I could have potentially believed there's a deal when it wouldn't have been a good situation. And for you guys, it's really important that you, on the sales calls, and this is something I call the astronaut helmet, because the astronauts practice everything that could go wrong in space so that they're prepared for it when it comes. And that's kind of your goal. You want to make sure that if you do see a potential threat, that you explore that potential threat. And if you don't explore that potential threat to the deal, it's gonna bite you in the ass. That's why you really want to leave no stone unturned. And I spelled unturned wrong. What an idiot. But that doesn't matter. I'll go fix it in post. But I thought you guys might like that. It will give you a good solid framework, so when you are on calls, that you know, hey, don't get happy ears. If I see a potential threat, explore that threat, and then you'll be able to make sure that the deals you get are solid, because that's the key. You want a deal to be a solid deal, and a solid deal happens when it's really a good fit and everybody's in and committed together. So watch this again if you get a chance, or if you're on the replay and this is valuable for you. Give me a little mountain for like the stone, or a rock gif. Anything with the rock, Dwayne Johnson, the rock, in a gif. Just let me know that, hey, this was worth your time. And if you have any other questions on this and how to do some of these things and like the technical stuff, feel free to drop it in the comments as well. All right, y'all.